What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen and this is Valley Buzzsaw. In today's video, I'm creating a cottage out of cardboard. Actually, more of a farmhouse barn thing. And I hope you guys don't mind not seeing my smiling wrinkly face, but I'm taking some downtime during this holiday season, so no intro. If you like DIY projects, then like this video and subscribe to my channel. I do projects like this along with DIY home improvement and cleaning motivation. In fact, this build will be a two-parter, so you won't want to miss it all come together. As you can see, I started with the base for my house. I gained inspo from a lot of cardboard crafts and paper art recently and thought I knew what I was doing. Sadly, I added the thin cardboard thinking it would help stabilize the flaps, but it only buckled when I tried a decoupage with paper towel. I scraped off the towels and instead used ripped Kraft paper. And I'll add an Amazon link to all my crafting supplies down below. It doesn't cost you extra, but I make a little bit every time you shop with my link. That helps me to keep making videos and I really appreciate the support. I grabbed the heaviest weight cardboard box I could find, and I was fortunate that my side pieces fit exactly on the flaps. Plus, there was plenty to do the rest of the pieces without any bends in the middle. Score! Oh, I should probably point out here that I'm not going for scale at all. I'm literally winging it on placement and trying whatever looks and feels right. And FYI, I cut these cardboard template pieces off camera. I traced each template piece onto the corrugated cardboard and cut them out with an Xacto knife. With the structure cut, I had to cut out the openings for the windows and door. My Xacto was unfortunately getting pretty dull, so you'll get to see me struggle with that through this whole video. Though I shouldn't have had to, because I know I have more blades in a little container somewhere. But I even took a break from the project to pull things apart and look everywhere. Unfortunately, they're deep in hiding. Probably only to be seen again as soon as I buy some new ones. In fact, all of these cuts would have come out a lot smoother and I could have saved a bunch of time if I just added new blades to my Amazon cart. But instead, it's all struggle all the time for me. If anyone knows where my other blades are, could you comment down below? Okay, thanks! Once everything was cut out, I could start assembling. Again, I can't be trusted to do things right on the first try, so I'll let you watch as I completely line up the sidewalls perfectly, then realize I glued everything in the wrong place, pull it apart, dry fit the roof, trim some edges, then actually get everything together the right way. Mistakes are how we learn, right? Or should I say, happy little accidents? Like I said, some things are learning experiences, because I went and did something similar with the trim. I intended to use this thinner cardstock to trim around the door and windows. So I started approaching this like I was on some home improvement project, mitered corners and all. In fact, I was so excited to do trim, I started gluing it down a little bit early. You'd think this was my first rodeo with DIY, right? Everyone knows, siding first, then trim. So I pulled off what I'd glued down and made my siding out of a thin cardboard box. Oh, and I should mention here that everything I used in this build was materials from my stash, recycle bin, or tools I already had on hand. Though I'm still mad at myself for not spending a few bucks for Xacto blades. Yeah, still not over that. The rest of the siding went like a breeze. I used the windows and doors to line up, mark, and cut down each full piece so it would custom fit in place. And can I just pat myself on the back here? Like I said before, I was winging it the whole time, so the fact the windows lined up perfectly inside 2 pieces of siding and at just the right height, yeah, that was a super happy accident, but I sure wasn't complaining. I made tick marks on both sides of the sheet of cardboard so that the siding would line up at the corners. I was only adjusting so things would look level. When the last pieces went on, I was pretty proud of my precision. As this structure came together, it was looking more and more like a barn instead of a cottage. Because of that, I decided to just embrace it and go with an illusion of a tin roof. Again, not remotely to scale, but this single side coated corrugated cardboard did the trick. I traced the roof line using the actual roof as my guide. Cut out the 2 sections, dry fit and trimmed things down as needed, then used my Aleene's clear gel tacky glue to secure both sides into place. Oh, and you might be surprised, but I finally ran out of my old bottle of glue on this DIY and had to crack into a new one. As I glued the cardstock door into place, I realized I didn't need to cut out the hole in the wall for the door. Oh well, create and learn. But because the door looked lame, I knew the trim would need more heft, so I doubled up the thickness, glued the pieces together, and attached them to the house. While those dried, I got to work on the door flourish. I wanted to lean into the barn thing even further, so I created something resembling crossbucks for the front door. And yes, I'm using a Japan scraper as a straight edge. If I keep working with miniature houses or other projects built to scale, I'll definitely get the appropriate tools. But for now, I'm working with what I got, and my ruler is just too long to make these teeny lines. Okay, so I know I said I didn't measure things, but the window trim is the one real exception. I wanted a generally consistent look all around the piece, and I decided not to revisit the mitered corner idea. way too many moving parts for my first full build. Instead, I used the original template as my tracing guide and used an equal but arbitrary measurement around each of the squares. After getting the edges lined up, I needed to cut out the center square for the window opening. I took it slow and just went freehand on all of these small lines. It worked out okay. Some of my lines are janky or wavy, but I figure a barn might look like that over time too, so I'm rolling with it. With the window trim done, I could move on to the last of the trim pieces. I wanted to place fascia boards along the roof edge to clean up the rough edges of the cardboard. I cut out all 4 pieces and hot glued them into place. I used an already bent edge of cardboard as the ridge vent and hot glued that into place too. Off camera, I added corner trim to the 4 corners, and that's where I'm going to end today's video. Don't forget, if you're new, click subscribe and do all the things to get my videos every week. You won't want to miss part 2 of this build where I finalize a base, paint everything, and add some final flourishes. Oh, and if you're part of the 20% who are still here watching our entire video, comment "I'm top 20" down below. Thanks so much for watching. Have a festive week and a safe sayonara to the year 2020. Later, peeps!